Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation. Here now, John Saunders.
And welcome back to the New Dodge Intermission Report in New York. I'm John Saunders. Let's quickly get you updated on scores and highlights from around the National Hockey League. Some important matchups. Things are not exactly finalized in 1 through 8 in the East and the West headed to the playoffs. Let's begin now with Dallas against St. Louis as Dallas tries to improve their position. Bob Gainey, talking to Courtnall, says we could use a goal from you. And he gets one. The blast here, it looks like it was tipped somewhere. May have gone off a member of the Blues, 1-0. Then Mike Modano is left alone here on the power play, takes the feed, wide open net, beats Curtis Joseph. 2-0 was the lead. But Brett Hall, who's the #2 goal scorer in the league, trading only Pavel Bure of Vancouver. Here's a good shot right through the 5-hole, and 2-1 is the lead. Dallas over St. Louis. That's where they stand now. Modano with a goal and an assist. 5 goals in his last 6 games. Los Angeles, they're out of the playoffs and on the road to face Chicago. They trail 2-0 in this one. Joe Murphy, 3 goals in his last couple of games. The New York Islanders and the New York Rangers. Important matchup. Why? Because the New York Islanders are trying to nail down the #8 position. They trailed in this game by a goal, but they have the last 2, including that one by Marty McGuinness. 4-3 is the lead for the Islanders. As of today, to start the day, they are tied with the Florida Panthers for the final playoff spot, but they have the edge because of more victories. Elsewhere, Quebec facing Buffalo. 1-0 is the lead there. Fraser has his 17th of the season. Quebec has the lead. In Tampa Bay and Hartford, it's been a wild one. Right now tied at 3-3. Tampa Bay had a 3-0 lead. They scored 3 goals in 47 seconds. That was a team record, but Hartford has come back with the last 3 goals. We'll keep you updated on all of these and other games from around the National Hockey League when we return in just a moment.
During the Dodge National Minivan sale, there are even more reasons to love caravans. In fact, depending on which caravan and which options you pick, you could save up to $2,600 on the minivan that already exceeds 1998 car safety requirements. The Dodge National Minivan Sale, the place to go for people who don't know when to stop. See your nearest Dodge dealer today.
Here's a toast to the hunters and a prayer for the hunted. It was their game.
After game again! Come on, Mason! I want you!
Enjoy yourself. Their thrill.
Have fun yet?
Their rules.
I like my meat rare.
Mr. Mason. Now he's gonna show them how to play it.
Job well done.
Surviving the game. Rated R. Starts Friday at a theater near you.
When you're a child on wheels, it seems like there's always someone or something there to stop you. But when you're an adult, you can't always depend on that, which is why it's nice to know that no matter what you drive, import or domestic, you can depend on Pep Boys for the best brakes at the best price. And people who understand that there will always be times when you need someone to rely on. So when you need brakes, come to Pep Boys and drive away happy.
Our country's greatest stars take on our reigning national champions in a special competition. It's the Hershey's Kisses Pro-Am Skating Championships next, here on ABC.
We will get you back to your game in just a moment, but first a reminder what's coming up later tonight here on ABC. It all begins with America's Funniest Hour, followed by Lois and Clark. Then Eric Stoltz, Matthew Modine, and John Lithgow star in the network premiere of Memphis Belle on the Sunday Night Movie tonight here on ABC. Next Saturday, the Pro Bowlers Tour continues northward, all the way to Canada. And the IOF Foresters Bowling for Miracles Open. Then on ABC's Wide World of Sports, Beck Professionals Boxing presents American Kennedy McKinney in a rematch for the IBF World Junior Featherweight Championship, plus the Wood Memorial Invitational, all Saturday.
It's nice to know that one phone call to a Farmers Insurance agent can cover home, auto, and life. So come in for a farmers-friendly review and make sure your insurance needs are covered, because you never know what could happen next.
Dad.
Farmers Insurance Group, for home, auto, and life.
As one goes forth to unearth new treasures, one
Mustn't let primordial perspiration mess with one's style. Consider this powerful discovery. New Bright Guard Pure Power Clear Gel. An astoundingly clear gel. Thus, it goes on clear without any flaky white stuff, protecting one powerfully. For when it comes to protection, one shouldn't mess around. New Bright Guard Clear Gel. Anything less would be uncivilized.
Mom, Sherry says her parents are rich.
Well, you can tell Sherry that we're smart.
Starting at $2.99, extra value meals make McDonald's the smart choice for dinner.
I'm glad we're smart.
Me too.
Hey, what? Those fries. You made them too big. Is that to make them big? But those are humongous.
Supersize your extra value meal with a supersized order of McDonald's Golden Fries, plus a supersized Coke for just 39 cents more at McDonald's today.
This summer, all of baseball's brightest stars are coming out to play in a brand new primetime series. It's Baseball Night in America, here on ABC.
Back at the Spectrum in Philadelphia, Boston Bruins leading the Philadelphia Flyers 4-2. The Bruins led 2-1 into the first. The Flyers jumped back into the lead 3-2, but the Bruins scoring 2 goals chasing Tommy Soderstrom have a 4-3 lead. We'll be back in just a moment after these words from your local ABC stations.
Monday on day 1, 20 years ago, Hank Aaron broke Babe Ruth's record for home runs. It should have been his greatest moment. Instead, he hates to think about it. Why? Find out on day 1 with Forrest Sawyer, Monday.
People are talking about NYPD Blue. If I was going to rate it, 1 to 10, high 9s. They come out, they talk like real people. And I think that's what makes it enjoyable. NYPD Blue, Tuesday on ABC. Viewer discretion is advised.
What do your neighbors think of Menswear Mega Center?
Fabulous. I mean, look at the size of it. The selections you get, can't beat it.
That's incredible. My wife comes here and shops with me for Christmas. She got me a couple suits, a couple sport coats, and the money she saved allowed me to get an extra sport coat, so I can't argue with that.
The store has a really big selection in my size, which is why I come here. What I'm looking for is value, good prices, and a good fit.
Open Friday, Saturday, and Sunday only. Now with 2 locations in Bailey's Crossroads in Rockville, Maryland.
Menswear Mega Center.
Dear foreign car owners, when it comes to fixing brakes, foreign cars aren't foreign to Midas. That's why we offer same-day brake service and guaranteed brake shoes and pads for as long as you own your car.
そして今あなたがお持ちの国産車外車をマイダスへお持ちいただくと
Get 25% off guaranteed brake shoes and pads. That's 25% off brake shoes and pads for any car at the Midas International Brake Sale.
Vilket språk man än talar, detta är ett erbjudande värt att bromsa för.
Alberry and Kathleen Matthews, tomorrow at 5 on News 7.
League on ABC. Brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for a crisp, clean, classic taste. The new Dodge, a division of the Chrysler Corporation, and Visa. It's everywhere you want to be.
You see those Flyers championship banners hanging, but right now the Flyers are in danger of missing the Stanley Cup playoffs for the 5th consecutive year. As they trail here, they're just about out of it unless they can bounce back.
Boy, they've had a difficult time, haven't they? And watching these first 2 periods, you can really tell the type of season that this team has had. All the opportunities by Boston and the weak goaltending has led to their demise over the season.
And a good effort here gave the Flyers a 3-2 lead.
Faust just breaking in, and he takes the trip by Wesley, but the great concentration, he's able to slip the puck underneath Riendo, and that was 3-2 Philadelphia.
But here come the bad goal. There's a bad goal given up by Tommy Soderstrom, which kills the Flyers.
This is a 3-on-2 led by Adam Oates, and again, a weak shot, a hard shot, but from a bad angle right through the pads of Soderstrom. He didn't get his goal pads together, and that tied the game.
And one more by Boston. This is a hard-working goal.
Yes, it really is. And in front, Glenn Murray takes the high stick, and in the same motion as his head is going up, is able to get the shot off. Dineen was there, couldn't get his stick, and that made it 4-3.
All right, so as you look at the third period, the Flyers really have to come out with some emotion.
Yeah, they really do, and they have to try and get that offense going because, again, defensively, they've been weak. Boston will keep coming. They've got to try and score a few more goals.
As the Flyers came off the ice at the end of the second period, Brenda Brennan caught up with their head coach, Terry Simpson, to talk about what went on in that second period.
Thank you very much, Sam. With us now is Flyers coach Terry Simpson. Lots of momentum shifts in this one. A couple of breakdowns cost you there midway through the second period.
Yeah, that's right. We got the lead back, and then we gave it up again. You know, a couple of, like you say, breakdowns, bad goals. We can't afford that at this stage of the game. We got to come out this period, and we got to get the lead and hold it.
What about the goaltending change?
Well, I just thought that you know, get into a situation like that, a couple bad goals, we have to do something. We've had a little bit of goaltending problem, you know, in the last 15 games or so. So this isn't really new for us.
Obviously, it'd be a different game if Eric Lindros was in there. Any idea when he'd be back?
Well, no, it's you know, that's a time thing, and we're not sure. It's just we're just working on it now, day to day, and see how it comes. But yeah, we'd like to have him back, but at the same time, he's not here, and we have to rise up and play better.
Coach, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you.
Sam, Joe, back upstairs.
Thanks, Brenda. Scoring summary of this game: Flyers scored first. Dmitry Yushkevich, 7:40 of the first period. Gave them a 1-0 lead. Steve Hines tied it with his 10th on what we considered a bad goal given up by Tommy Soderstrom. Bruins 9 seconds later. Joseph Stumpel scoring to make it 2-1. That was the score end of the first period. Then the Flyers scored 2 in a row to take the lead. Long shot by Yves Racine. Seemed to go in off of Glenn Wesley, and that tied it 2-2. Then came the goal by Andre Faust to make it 3-2. Nice pass by Brent Fedek to set it up. But the Bruins answered back. The goal by Don Sweeney through the legs of Tommy Soderstrom tied it. And then the goal by Glenn Murray on the rebound, giving him his 18th of the season. Adam Oates with 2 assists in the game. And Boston with a 4-3 lead as we head for the third period. Shots on goal, Bruins 26, Flyers 16. Scoring chances, Bruins 16, Flyers 12. Face-offs even, power plays. Boston has had 1 full one, 1 short one that lasted 9 seconds. Flyers are 0 for 4. Bruins penalty killing tightening up.
And meanwhile, Brenda talked to Terry Simpson about his goaltending, and they went out and they did try to get a goaltender. They were close, or at least inquiring about Mike Vernon in Calgary, but guess who Calgary wanted? Rod Brindamore, just like every other team in the league, and they weren't willing to give up an outstanding player in Brindamore to get a veteran goaltender.
Terry Simpson is very honest about his situation here. There have been a lot of rumors that he might be out, that the general manager, Russ Farwell, could be out. And Terry Simpson says, quite honestly, my situation is tenuous.
Well, he's the type of coach, he's a laid-back kind of guy. He understands the situation clearly. Bob Clark is the name that's been mentioned most often about coming back here, and if he did, he'd probably bring in his own people to take over this team, and we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. And of course, Clark right now, the general manager of the Florida Panthers, they could be in the playoffs here next week.
Underway, third period. Yushkevich and Bowen for the Flyers on defense. Recchi, DeMaio, and Deneen up front. Deneen took down Wesley, breaks by him. I'm afraid he goes over to get a stick on the puck, put out in front. Taken back by the Bruins. Ted Donato is on with Brian Smolinski and Steve Hines. Brady across to Wesley. Lifted it over the glass into the crowd, stopping play. And behind the play, Deneen and Wesley going at it. Wesley was upset. He was tripped up by Deneen, and he just got him back.
That's right.
Separated.
That, right off the opening face-off, Wesley was taken down by Deneen. That allowed Deneen at least to get in and nearly get a scoring chance. And let's not forget that the captain of this Flyers team played for the Hartford Whalers. There's a little bit of bad blood between Boston and Hartford, those two rivals.
Cheers going up for the crowd because posting of the score that the Phillies are leading the Cincinnati Reds 3-0 on a Darren Dalton home run. So that gives the Philadelphia fans something to be smiling about right now.
And you go back to Deneen, and he hasn't had the type of season that we're certainly used to seeing. He's generally a 30-goal guy. He's got 19 on the season, and 6 of those in 2 games, a couple of hat-tricks on the season.
Kowski to Oates. Oates sending it in. Oates now with 109 points in the season. And pending what Doug Gilmour of Toronto does in tonight's game for the Leafs. And Oates is now third in the league. The bouncer stopped by Riendo. Don Sweeney looks up ice.
Sam, you know, Oates doesn't get mentioned much for the MVP in the league, does he? I mean, I'm talking Fedorov and a number number of other players, but not much mention of Adam Oates, and he certainly deserves to be considered as the MVP in the league.
I agree with you, Joe. I think he does get overlooked, and he's one of the outstanding players, vital to this Boston Bruins team, and everybody mentions Cam Neely. Ray Bourque certainly deserves consideration. I think the injury may take away from that, but Adam Oates is the man that sets these guys up.
Well, he's really been something. You look at the rest of the cast of this Boston team, not a great deal of talent out there, yet Adam Oates continues to pile up the points.
Galley fires it across to Yuskevich. Down to the Boston zone. Endo leaves it for Gordy Roberts. Brent Hughes bangs it off the glass. And this will be an icing on the Bruins. Galley touches. Play stops. 1:59 into the third period. One-time Bruin, Gary Galley. The Visa storyline looks like this. The Bruins with 2 goals in 9 seconds in the first period. The Flyers 2 goals in 37 seconds in the second. Adam Oates has 2 assists in the game. Tommy Soderstrom was beaten for 4 goals on 22 shots before he gave way to Dominic Roussel.
Sam, you mentioned Gary Galley earlier. He's had a terrific season, 69 points on the year, but getting worn down, probably. He also suffers from chronic fatigue syndrome, and that's been a problem for him the last couple of years. In fact, the summer of 1992, he nearly retired.
Just didn't know what it was. Finally, it was diagnosed correctly, and they've been able to treat it.
And actually, there's no cure. They can treat it, but there is no cure up to now.
Yuskevich, checked by Glenn Murray. Ustrov sending it in. Yuskevich with the puck. Murray was taken down. Slid hard into the boards. Yuskevich was there as well. Mark Lamb brings it out. Lamb moving in on Roberts. Flyers in acquiring Mark Lamb and Rob DeMaio in trades in early March gave up size to get some grittiness in their lineup.
And it's helped this team. There's no question it's helped. But again, once you get past Brindamore, Recchi, Lindros, not a great deal of scoring down the road. Baranek got up to a wonderful start this season, 23 goals in his first 36 games, and only now 28 on the season. So he has slowed down dramatically.
Knipschier's shot was blocked by Racine, cleared out by Bowen, but stopped by Donato, who moves in. Donato for Knipschier, broken up by DeMaio. Nice play by Ted Donato. The boards for Rob DeMaio, who started his NHL career with the New York Islanders, went to the Tampa Bay Lightning in the expansion draft, and then traded over to the Philadelphia Flyers. Donato was able to work the puck loose. Flyers come out with it. Mark Recchi and Kevin Dineen. Moves in, and he's tied up. Dineen gets a shot off the glove of Riendo. Dropped down and shot off by Glenn Wesley. Wesley took a hit. The puck deflected into the crowd. Brenda Brennan is downstairs with Eric Lindros. Brenda.
Yes, with us now is the man who makes the Flyers go, Eric Lindros, who separated his shoulder last week. Eric, does it hurt more the shoulder or the fact that you have to be a spectator for this game?
Well, it's never fun to watch a team being on the ice when you're not able to go to battle, but I guess we'll battle back there until we can pull out.
How does the shoulder feel?
It's been getting better every day. It's a situation where when the strength is there and the pain is away, and I get the call from all the doctors to go back, I'll be there.
Any chance you'll be back for Tuesday's game?
The way it looks right now, I don't think so, but certainly we get into the playoffs, I'll hopefully be ready then.
Eric, thank you very much for stopping by. Back upstairs.
Thanks, Brenda.
Sam, the other thing about Lindros, when he got hurt in that game against Winnipeg, he wanted to go back in. He feels the pressure, the big trade that brought him here, and he feels that pressure on a daily basis, and their trainer, Gary Smith, wouldn't let him play again.
Battle along the boards. Moved around by Brian Smolinski, kept in by Rob Zettler. Pass Baranek. Renberg looking for it, but Sweeney moved it. Skevich is tied up by Steve Leach. Brindamore has the puck. The shot off the stick of Riendo. Gives it in the corner. Bounces down. Renberg finds it. Shaw takes it away and clears the zone. Eric Lindros plays such a hard, physical game. And it leads to some injuries, and it's cost him time. If he played a full season, his numbers would compute out to 57 goals, about 125 to 130 points.
Yeah, that's exactly right. 97 points this year in 65 games. 75 points last year in 61 games. It kind of makes me think of the Wendell Clark situation when he came up as an 18-year-old with Toronto. Big, strong, tough, could hit as hard as anyone in the league, but the injuries have forced him to change his game somewhat. Still hits, but he doesn't go out of his way as much as he did in the past, and Lindros may have to do that as well.
Roussel stops the puck. 14:40 to go, third period. Bruins leading 4-3. Al Conroy for Philadelphia. Set up the Mark Lamb. A dump in, a little too far for Faust. Riendo gave it up to Faust, and then Bukowski helped out. Long shot by Zettler. Save Riendo with Faust in front for Philadelphia. Andre Faust, who has one of the Flyers' goals. Puck taken by Dave Reed. He just fires it all the way down as the Bruins will settle for an icing here to get out of trouble. Pressure from the Flyers. Play stops with 14:10 to go in the third period, and the Bruins holding a 4-3 lead.
Category.
Music.
Deep Purple, man. Classic.
Foreigner.
Huh? Yeah, man.
First album.
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Paradise by the Dashboard Light.
Ah, Meatloaf. Wonder what his friends call him. Meat?
Mr. Loaf. How about My Sharona?
Beechwood aged Budweiser.
Supertramp.
Crisp, clean, classic.
Frampton Comes Alive. Moment of silence, please. Fleetwood Mac. Yeah, all right. Hold on.
When we introduced the Dodge National Minivan Sale, we knew people would like getting great option discounts on the minivan that already exceeds 1998 car safety requirements, just like they've always enjoyed air at no extra charge with the Caravan Family Value Package. But when people hear that their savings can total $2,600, well, we're taking appropriate measures. See your nearest Dodge dealer today.
Some star quality missing from this game, Joe?
Oh, I would say so. We just finished talking about Lindros and Ray Bork and the terrific season he's had, and Cam Neely, of course, will miss the rest of the season.
Good hit by Zettler on Murray, but Murray was able to clear the zone. And Murray. Glenn Wesley sends it in. Comes to Stumple for a quick shot just wide of the net. He's Racine to the Flyers. Looking, pass up the middle, tipped ahead. Ryan Brady moves it the other way. Kevin Dineen. Hughes takes over for Boston.
And Boston's not taking many chances, are they? They've got 4 players back in the neutral zone. When Philadelphia gets control of it in their own end, Boston's only sending 1 player in, the other 4 players back to play defensively.
Here's the NHL Budweiser scoreboard. The Islanders leading the Rangers early in the third period, 4-3. Blackhawks leading L.A. 2-0. L.A. out of the playoff picture. Dallas still leading St. Louis 2-1. That's between periods 2 and 3. Hartford now has a 5-3 lead on Tampa Bay. 5 minutes to go in the second. Quebec and Buffalo tied 1-1. That's an important game with Buffalo jockeying for position in the Eastern Conference standings. Buffalo could jump into the number 4 spot and get home ice in the first round. It is a long shot, but Buffalo is still alive for first place in the Northeast Division. Right. They have to win all 3 games remaining, and Pittsburgh would have to lose their 1 game. And the whistle stopped play. The puck was on the net. Perhaps Don Koharski, the referee, lost sight and blew the whistle a little too quickly as far as Flyers fans were concerned. Tonight, very important game, New Jersey at Florida, 6:05 Eastern Time start. Winnipeg, Toronto, Detroit, Edmonton, and Vancouver, and San Jose. Congratulations to the Sharks for making the playoffs in this, their 3rd season in the NHL.
Why haven't they been something?
Terrific. Kevin Constantine, his first year as head coach. Great job. Boston, no shots on goal. Just what you said, Joe, playing very carefully.
Very careful there. That's Brian Sutter's style. Keep his players back. He knows they don't need any more goals to win, and they want to support Vince Riendo in goal.
Oates sending it around the board. Zettler able to keep it in. Oates tries again. Cleared out. Oates with Reed and Tchaikovsky. Marius Tchaikovsky. Nice move around Rob Zettler. Looking, shooting it deflected off of Racine. Renberg moves it around the boards for Baranek. Krakowski is there, but it's cleared out for the Flyers. Baranek for Brindamore, knocked away by Oates. Racine plays it in. 7.5 minutes gone, third period. Bruins leading 4-3. Racine toward the net. Stopped by Riendo with a glove, and he holds it. Rod Brindamore right in front of him.
And Brindamore with another good season for these Philadelphia Flyers. He was originally drafted by St. Louis in the first round and then traded after his second year. He had the kind of a bad sophomore season for the Blues. 61 points his rookie year, 49 his second year, and then since he has been here, every season he has improved on his point totals.
Brindamore spent a year at Michigan State before coming into the NHL with St. Louis, as you mentioned, has been going to summer school out at Michigan State the previous 2 summers, but now he tells us that he's going to Temple here in the Philadelphia area.
He's a very smart kid and a very hard-working kid. In fact, Trent Hartsburg was mentioning before the game he worked harder than any player he's ever seen.
He's saved by Riendo on the shot by Rob Zettler. Oh, he's in great shape. Boy, is he strong.
Well, he continues to lift weights. He lifts weights at least twice a week, many times 3 times a week, and even 4 times a week, depending on his schedule. He's got one of the greatest physiques in this game today, and that's one of the reasons he finishes so strong during the season.
Walensky shot it wide off a nice feed from Daniel Marlov. Back the other way, the Flyers. With 11:50 to go on the third, Mikhail Renberg wrapped up by Huscroft and taken down. Bruins move the puck, knocked down by Brindamore. Back past Yuskevich toward the net. Huscroft was there. That shot trickled wide. Roberts trying to move, tip it all over him. Huscroft plays it for Boston. Huscroft, former captain of the Providence Bruins in the American Hockey League. He's given them, the Boston Bruins, good service this year with a lot of toughness and versatility, playing up front and on defense. Done a good job for Boston. Shot in by Iafrate, knocked aside by Roussel, but an offside is whistled. Play stops with 11:20 to go in the third, and the Bruins leading 4-3.
East of the Texas Hill Country in Austin, there's a place that just won't let you go home hungry. It's called Threadgill's. And here you might find yourself behind a great big chicken fried steak, a mountain of red beans and rice, or even a microphone. So if you go, bring your appetite for a good time and your Visa card. Because Threadgill's might let you take the stage, but they won't take American Express. Visa, it's everywhere you want to be.
Driver, do you have any Bud Light in your vehicle?
Yes.
And I am Mr. Galley Weekich.
You mean Dr. Galakowitz?
Yes, I am. This is so cool.
First time in a limo? Doctor?
In a limo this small.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Back at the Spectrum, Sam Rosen, Joe Nicoletti, Brenda Brennan. Glad you're with us on ABC's coverage of the National Hockey League. And next week, the start of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Get your local listings for the game in your region. That begins 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 noon Central and Pacific time. Lamb firing into the Boston zone. The race for the puck. Out Conroy gets there to negate what would have been an icing on the Flyers. Good hustle. Bruins moving up the board. Good hit by Zettler, but the Bruins able to clear out. And a whistle. It's a 2-line pass. John Saunders has an update at the studio in New York. John.
Well, Sam, it's not good news for Philadelphia Flyers fans. If they lose that game and the Islanders win, they're eliminated. And Malakoff, with a nice move here as he freezes Glenn Healy, then between the legs, the Islanders lead 5-3. Sam and Joe.
Nice goal by Malakoff, and the Islanders really coming on strong late in the season when they need it the most.
And they've had injuries all season long as well. There was one point when all 6 of their top 6 defensemen were all out with injuries during the course of the regular season. Al Arbor, again, does a wonderful job getting them back in the hunt.
They're burning their former teammate, Glenn Healy, who led them to the semifinals last season.
And Glenn's yelling a few things at his ex-teammate.
Mark Recchi battling David Shaw. Shaw pins him to the boards, tries to move the puck. Mayo trying to work the loose for the Flyers, taken over by Don Sweeney. Takes it clear. On goal, Dominic Roussel plays it off the boards. Evan Deneen takes over. Good hit by Fred Knipscher, who stepped up. Knipscher hasn't had many shifts, but each of his shifts has been a good one. He's done something good on each shift. A hit, a couple of good scoring chances.
He's a typical Bruin player, too. Works hard, pretty good size, and plays a physical game.
Fans reacted to Mark Recchi being taken down. No call being made. Recchi trying to get loose of David Shaw. This time, a call will be made. Penalty on David Shaw for holding the stick. 9:44 to go in the third. Bruins leading 4-3, but the Flyers have a power play coming up.
Holding the stick.
During the Dodge National Minivan sale, there are even more reasons to love Caravan. In fact, depending on which Caravan and which options you pick, you could save up to $2,600 on the minivan that already exceeds 1998 car safety requirements. The Dodge National Minivan sale, the place to go for people who don't know when to stop. See your nearest Dodge dealer today.
There's no place on earth that I'd rather be than out in the open where it's all plain to see that the land is pure, untamed and free. There's no place that I'd rather be. Come on along, head for the mountains of Bush here. Head for the mountains, it's cold and it's smooth and it's waiting for you. Come on, head for the mountains of Bush here.
Numbers 1 and 3 are secure. Pittsburgh needs 1 point, and they're safe in number 2 spot as a division leader. Then Montreal, Buffalo, and Boston are all bouncing around and hopping over one another to determine who will get home ice in the first round of the playoffs as you look at the top 6. Brindamore slides it in front. Shot by Racine was deflected by Dave Reed. Power play for the Flyers. They're 5th. They're 0 for 4.
Cam, this is the key point in the game for the Flyers, trailing by a goal. And as defensive as Boston is playing, this may be the only opportunity for Philadelphia to get them to a scoring chance.
Galley and Racine, Brindamore, Recchi, and Renberg for Philadelphia. Brindamore to Renberg. Renberg holds. Back pass, shot by Racine, save Riendo. Rebound cleared aside by Al Iafrate. Iafrate with Don Sweeney, Brian Smolinski, and Dave Reed. Reed goes off and Ted Donato comes on. Up ice. With 1:05 to go on the power play, he was tugged down by Brian Smolinski. Renberg comes in. Renberg forced back by Roberts. Donato couldn't clear. Mark Recchi after the puck. Recchi stopped by Roberts. Brindamore takes over for Philadelphia. Smolinski able to clear. 8.5 minutes to go. Third period. Bruins with a 43 lead. Crowd a little restless.
Yeah, and the Bruins just relentless on the puck. Philadelphia having trouble getting it set up. They just don't have any time. Boston is jumping on the loose puck, and now they've got the crowd really going against the home team.
The Flyers must get a point out of this game to stay alive in the playoff chase. If they lose and the Islanders hold on to win, the Flyers are done. 8 minutes to go. 15 seconds left in the Flyers' power play. Excellent penalty killing by the Bruins. Yuskevich against Reed. Riendo had it bounced by him. On the boards. Mark Landrock is dropping it off for Veronica. Checked by Iafrate. Lamb against Oates. Good digging by Adam Oates, and he clears. Reed breaks by the defense. Dave Reed moves in. Reed with Dave Shaw. Save made by Roussel. Reed trying to go short side, looking for an opening near the post, but a good save by Dominic Roussel.
He's a short-handed specialist, Dave Reed. He's been doing that for a long time in his career, getting those short-handed chances.
Teams are at full strength. Flyers are 0 for 5 on the power play in the game. Jamie Hustroff for Boston with 7:10 to go in the third, and Boston leading 4-3. Right now playing a very safe game. Jason Bowen with it.
What a discrepancy in the Flyers. 23rd in the league in goals against, yet 7th in the offensive category. So it's a team that can score goals. They just can't keep it out of their own net.
Wilson Stumple has a goal in the game. Nice move around Bowen and a save by Roussel. Taken back by Andre Faust. Al Conroy sends it in. Stumble back to get it. The board blocked by Rob Zettler. Zettler moving toward the net, but it was knocked aside. Up shot blocked by Glenn Murray. Brady takes over and moves it. Moving up with Zettler again. Stumple's pass goes through Roberts to Murray. Try to clear it. It was stopped by Eforcine. No out Conroy. Off the skate of Recchi. Faust tried to center. It was deflected. Roberts has it. Moves away from Recchi. Faust and Stumple in the corner. Recchi moves it. Brady takes over. Heads up ice with 6 minutes to go in the third period. Just dumps it in. Bruins change defense pairings. Glenn Murray going for the puck. Taken by Rob DeMaio. Kevin Dineen. Recchi dumps it in. Bruins have done a good job of keeping the Flyers' big offensive threats quiet. Recchi and Brindamore. Good check by DeMaio. Brindamore wrap around try. Save Riendo. Good move by Brindamore there. He had a big chance, and Riendo with a good save.
That's one of the few times in this game that Boston has turned the puck over in their own zone. Normally, they just dump it around the boards and clear the zone.
NHL Budweiser scoreboard. Rangers have gotten one back. It's a 5-4 game at Nassau Coliseum. Chicago a 2-0 lead. Murphy and Chelios the goal scorers. Madonna, Courtnall, Hull has scored for St. Louis. Hartford now leading 5-4 as Tampa Bay climbs closer in that one. And the 4 games later on this evening. Buffalo and Quebec tied 1-1 in their game in Buffalo.
Again, getting back to that, Sam, Boston has played so well, especially in this third period, that the Flyers just can't penetrate around the net and get any type of scoring at all. And even if they get someone through there, the Boston players, they always have a stick on you or a hook.
Renberg, backhander, save Riendo. A big pile-up in front as Riendo was bumped. As Oates took down Brindamore, but Riendo somehow made the save.
Former teammates Adam Oates and Rod Brindamore. Roddy Brindamore asking why the whistle was blown on the play.
I believe the net may have been lifted up off the pegs. On Koharski, let's take a look at what happened here.
Now the initial shot, this is Renberg who will take the backhand shot. Brindamore, and what a good job by Adam Oates. Brindamore right there in front.
It wasn't lifted up.
I think he may have lost sight of the puck, Sam. The backhand by Renberg was deflected to the corner. I think maybe Koharski thought that Riendo had the puck.
2-on-1 Boston. Oates moving in with Steve Leach. Tipped it wide. Oates has it again. He has 2 assists in the game. Centering pass for Dave Reed. Reed against Gary Galley. Now Oates shoots at a save by Roussel. And Roussel dives on top of the puck. As Leach try to get there, he takes some pushing from Yuskevich and Brindamore. Things settling down with the Bruins still leading 4-3.
If you lust for power, try this. 1,340 cc's of rolling thunder. It's called Harley-Davidson, and you'll find it in all its glory at Southeast Harley in Cleveland, where you can get anything from an FXR to a BLT. But if you go, bring your love of the 2-lane blacktop and your Visa card, because at Southeast Harley, they'll take you to hog heaven, but they won't take American Express. Visa is everywhere you want to be.
Bud Light, please.
Tonight's ladies' night, and there's a special on Bud Light.
If you want great taste that won't fill you up and never let you down, make it a Bud Light.
Oh, no, it's Ted from accounting.
Second season begins next week right here on ABC. The Stanley Cup playoffs with regional coverage, 1 o'clock Eastern, 12 noon Central and Pacific time. Check your local listings for the game in your area. Put up here on the face-off, won by Mark Lamb. Just under 5 minutes to go, third period. Boston holding a 4-3 lead, no scoring here in the third. Boston led 2-1 into the first, 4-3 into the second. Each team has led twice in the game. Pass to Ted Donato, moving in against Racine, drops for Knips here, and broken up by Al Conroy. Bruins have it back.
We could easily see Boston end up with more 2-on-1s or even some breakaways. And because of the fact that Philadelphia have to score, which means that they have to start getting their defensemen to move up and take some chances offensively. If Boston has control of the puck, they could easily end up with the 2-on-1s in the breakaway.
All the way down, it's an icing call with 4:14 to go in the third. Let's go to John Saunders in New York for an update. John.
Well, the Rangers and the Islanders still at it, and Mark Messier, who hadn't scored in some 20-plus games, gets his second of the day. And right now, the Rangers within a goal, 5-4, Sam and Joe.
Thanks, John. And the Rangers certainly happy about Mark Messier breaking out of his goal-scoring slump. But even while he wasn't scoring goals, he was putting assists on the boards. Taking a look at the standings, as we showed you earlier, Rangers have locked up first overall. They'll have home ice advantage throughout the playoffs. But here are the teams battling for that final playoff spot. Washington looks like they're, with that win last night, that they've locked up number 7. The Islanders, Florida will play tonight at home against New Jersey. And of course, the Flyers must get something out of this game this afternoon.
And our congratulations to Mike Keenan and Neil Smith of the Rangers. They've had just a wonderful season.
Outstanding job by the Rangers and Mike Keenan in his first year as head coach. Rangers did not make the playoffs last season. Second time in 3 years they finished first overall. But then comes the playoffs. Whole new season begins next week. Galley going back, 3:40 to go in the third period. Bruins with a 4-3 lead. Yuskevich blocked by Stumple. Brent Hughes after the puck. Tugged out by Yuskevich. Got to Stumple, but the shot deflected by Galley into the crowd.
A fine defensive play by Gary Galley. That last chance by Stumple may have finished the Flyers off for the season. They still have an opportunity, but Galley was able to get over and deflect the shot with his stick.
Hershey's Kisses Pro-Am Figure Skating Championships. Some of the best figure skaters, including a performance by Brian Boitano. It's coming up next here on ABC Sports. Rod Brindamore set for the face-off against Joseph Stumple. Brindamore wins it. Rob Stettler moves it up the boards. Brindamore off for Renberg, but Sweeney got a stick on it. 3:15 to go in the third. Racine back to the puck. Good job by the Bruins. Then Murray against Racine. Now it's Stumple grabbed by Brindamore. Brindamore just grabbed Stumple by the back of the jersey, pulled him aside. John Koharski let it go. Murray comes in. Murray turns, looks for a trailer, then he's taken out of the play by Rob Zettler. Stumple against Veronic. Meanwhile, the Bruins killing off time with some good forechecking. Racine carries the puck for Philadelphia. Rod Brindamore looking, pass in front, went right through as Stumple checked Joseph Veronic. Sweeney sends it down into the Flyers zone. And this will be an icing.
And the Flyers just simply are not getting many chances at all, Sam. Boston just continues to stay all over the puck. They're in the neutral zone. Philadelphia not able to carry the puck over the blue line, and very frustrating for Terry Simpson and his team.
7 minutes remaining in that Rangers-Islanders game. 12 minutes to go. L.A. at Chicago. Third period, 11.5 minutes left. Dallas, St. Louis. Hartford leading Tampa Bay. Quebec and Buffalo tied 1-1. Coming down to the midway point of the second period. Andre Faust. Rookie who scored a goal earlier this evening. He's out of Princeton University. Playing against Adam Oates for the face-off. Playing it back to Ally Afraidy. Haven't seen a big shot from Ally Afraidy in this game.
No, I don't think he's had any shots. Maybe one earlier in this period.
Mark Recchi moving with the puck. Sends it in. 2:10 to go. Bounces off the corner boards, and Iafrate alertly fires it out of the zone and went into the Bruins bench. Bad carom as far as the Bruins are concerned. Riendo almost got trapped out of the zone. Alert play by Iafrate to clear it out.
And Iafrate was brought into this Boston team. They were looking actually for a fourth defenseman to fill in, or actually a third defenseman after the other three. Meanwhile, we see the shot go in. A bad bounce comes right in front of the net. A good opportunity for the Flyers, but no one there. Iafrate very alert on the play, clearing the puck out and over the glass.
Big Al in his 10th game with the Bruins since coming over in the trade with the Washington Capitals. He's had 8 points, 4 goals, and 4 assists in the 9 games coming into today's matchup. You see the shots for the game. Flyers 8-4 in the third. Good play by Oates coming away with the puck. Down by Galley. 2 minutes left in the third. Boston leading 4-3. Mark Recchi races to the puck. Center, save Riendo as he robs Renberg with a great save. Reed moves it up the boards in the Flyers zone. Flyers back to get it. 1:40 to go. Pretty play by the Flyers. Riendo with a brilliant save to keep the Bruins in the lead. Don Sweeney with 1.5 minutes to go. And the Flyers have to chase back. Time running out on the game and on the Flyers season. Puck off the stick of Steve Hines into the crowd, stops play. And you can see the ejection on Mark Recchi for Vincent Riendo. That was his save of the game for him.
Yeah, terrific save, and I'm sure Brian Sutter with a little sigh of relief on the Bruins bench. Recchi with the pass in front, and Riendo reacting very well coming across the other way.
Vincent Riendo, his first start in nearly 3 weeks. A little over 2 weeks for him.
I was mentioning earlier, Riendo started with the Montreal Canadiens, then spent some time in St. Louis, and when he got to St. Louis, he was a 200-pounder, and now he's about 185 pounds, but he had a lot of problems with his weight and with his stamina. So in St. Louis, he was put on a program to lose some weight, to increase his stamina. He turned into a pretty good goaltender, but then just ran into those problems in Detroit when he was traded there. Tim Chevrolet was the #1 guy. Riendo hadn't played much the last couple of years, so the Bruins thought they'd take a chance. Of course, Riendo played for Brian Sutter when Brian was coaching in St. Louis.
Came over early in the season, actually in January, in a trade for a conditional draft pick. 2-4 with Detroit. 5-5-1 with the Bruins. Coming down to 1 minute to go. The net is empty as Roussel has gone to the bench for an extra skater for the Flyers. Bruins lead 5-4 under a minute left. Blocked by Zanine. Try to get it out in front for Renberg. Couldn't stuff it in. Sweeney cleared to the side. Recchi couldn't keep it in the zone. Hines hits Recchi. Brindamore was knocked down by Donato. Gets up and charges Donato. And here they go. The frustration showing here on the part of the Flyers. Brindamore was knocked down by Ted Donato, got right up and right at Donato, taking exception to the hit.
And probably a bad time for it, Sam, because there was going to be a penalty called on Donato from behind Brindamore, and boy, he takes a good shot from Donato from behind. And it'll be interesting to see what the call is as Brindamore then instigates the altercation with Ted Donato, but there would have been a penalty call on the play. Boy, this is dangerous. Brindamore doesn't see Donato coming at all. That's a clear hit from behind. That should be a 5-minute major, Sam.
We'll see what the referee calls. There's Brindamore getting up and going right back at Ted Donato. We'll see what referee Don Koharski comes up with here. Brindamore is going to the penalty box. Donato is already in. 46 seconds remaining in the third period. Bruins leading 4-3. There's been no scoring here in the third as the Bruins have played defensively and made the lead stand up.
You mentioned the frustration. Rod Brindamore, he's a tremendous competitor. When he was a rookie in St. Louis, we had to try and get him. When I was coaching at the time, he would be so hard on himself and so tough on himself when he wouldn't play well and wouldn't do well, that even here in St. Louis, now he's been around for 5 years in the league, but even now at just 23, they still have to help him along. He's such a tremendous competitor that they're trying to help him try to relax after situations which are tough, and this has been a difficult year here in Philadelphia.
Penalties being handed out. Double minor for roughing to Rod Brindamore. At the conclusion of this game, we will send you to John Saunders in New York, and he will send you to the conclusion of that game, the Rangers and Islanders at Nassau Coliseum, with Gary Thorne and Bill Clement standing by. Ted Donato gets a 5-minute major for checking from behind, and Rod Brindamore gets 4 minutes for roughing, a double minor.
And Sam, again, you go back and we talk about the season of frustration. I'm sure Rod Brindamore, sitting in the penalty box right now, is thinking, I should have waited. I shouldn't have reacted after the long hit, because there's still 46 seconds to go in regulation time. They're trailing by a goal, and they have to get something out of this game. So Brindamore, I'm sure, very frustrated and thinking, I should have waited. I should have held off.
Don Koharski has actually put 2 seconds back on the clock. He's over at the official scorers table. They're now 48 seconds up on the clock. Donato, of course, with a 5-minute major, gets a game misconduct, and he is done. But as far as the Flyers are concerned here, they have 5 skaters on. It would have been a 6-on-4 had they had the power play, but Brindamore's penalties negated that. Flyers' net is empty. Riendo tried to move it. Recchi along the boards to Galley. Toward the net. Save Riendo with Kevin Dineen in front. Moved up the boards. Stopped by Galley. His shot blocked. Renberg couldn't get a shot off. Don Sweeney has it. Off the boards, out of the zone. That's got a chance toward the empty net. Just wide. And it's an icing. It is not a power play situation, so an icing is called. The faceoff goes back deep into the Boston zone as you look at Yves Racine. 22.5 seconds remaining.
That's right. That's right. No power play, even though the 5-on-4 manpower advantage. Now the important thing with Philadelphia trailing by a goal, the faceoff deep in Boston zone, the all-importance of a faceoff right now. Vince Riendo, a couple of good saves in this third period, but the importance of winning this faceoff, and Mark Recchi will take the draw against Adam Oates.
Bruins have David Shaw with Don Sweeney. Dave Reed, Adam Oates is by the bench. Getting another stick. Perhaps giving his teammates a little bit of rest on the ice, slowing things down.
And sometimes there's a question, why doesn't one of the coaches take a timeout? Well, Terry Simpson, I'm sure, is thinking, their players are tired right now, their best players.
They used their timeout in the first period.
Oh, pardon me.
Up along the boards, Oates moves it, stopped by Recchi, 12 seconds to go. The puck tipped into the corner. Galley after it, centers all the way through. Kept in by Racine. Shot toward the net. Save Riendo. Makes one more tough save. Put in front. Sweeney's got it. 1 second to go. Big save by Vincent Riendo on that deflected shot to keep the Bruins in the lead.
That was a terrific save by Riendo, because he had people in front of him as well, Sam, so I'm sure he had trouble picking it up. It was deflecting, rolling, bouncing, but he stayed right there, kept his concentration well, and was able to come up with the save. Boy, that thing bounced. It just skipped off the ice. It was going end over end and landed about 15 feet in front of him, and then it just seemed to shoot up and take off. He actually took that shot in the chest area.
So 1 second left. And all that Kevin Dineen can do here is shoot it off the face-off and go right for the net. Adam Oates takes the face-off for Boston. Bruins looking for their 41st win of the season, and that's it. The Bruins have defeated the Flyers 4-3 right now. Let's go to the Nassau Coliseum for the Rangers-Islanders game. Let's go to Gary Thorne and Bill Clement.
Healy coming back out. Nemchadov dropping it back. Tied up Green. 31 seconds to go in the game. The Islanders 5, the Rangers 4. King missed the empty net when Healy was heading to the bench. Healy is still in right now. Kasparaitis flips and misses. Weimer sends it in. Healy heads to the bench. Extra skater out. Travis Green behind the net. Taken away as the ticket, and Messier's open in front. Centering pass. Messier got it back. McTavish can't shoot. Blocked. And it's loose behind the net. McTavish, Leach, centering back to Zubov. Zubov drops it back to Leach. Leach wants the wrister. Uwe Krupp blocked it. Back to the point. It's over. The Islanders win it 5-4.
everything you could want in a hockey game and a little more. What a finish. What a finish.
The New York Islanders now 2 points ahead of Florida for that final playoff spot with the victory here. 5-4. What a game. Malakoff 2 goals. McGinnis had a goal and 2 assists. Green 3 assists. Keith 2 assists. And the Islander fans still reminding the New York Rangers about 1940. But folks, the Rangers were ready and played a hell of a game. Islanders win it 5-4. John?
As a result of the Islanders winning and the Philadelphia Flyers losing, the Flyers have been eliminated from the race. It now comes down to the Panthers and the Islanders. The Islanders lead by 2 points. They have 2 left. The Panthers have 3 left. And the final game of the season against each other. It has been terrific. Elsewhere, Dallas facing the St. Louis Blues, trying to improve their seed. Peter Nedved comes up with this goal in a 2-1 contest. Just fires it towards the net, slips inside the post. It has tied the game at 2-2. There's about 5 minutes to go in regulation. When we come back, we will take you out for the rest of regulation and overtime if they have one. It's a great final weekend of the National Hockey League here on ABC. We'll get back with more of it in just a moment.
Dodge Intrepid has a steering system so advanced, it can actually sense how fast you're driving. At highway speeds, it gives you a more precise feel for the road. As you slow down, it adds power and makes turning and parking easier to handle. To get your hands on steering this sophisticated, have a seat. Now lease a well-equipped Intrepid for just $239 a month.
Meet the Parker twins, Bob and Fred.
Hi.
Identical in every way, except when it comes to taking care of their cars. Bob likes the shine of original Armor All protectant, but not Fred.
I gotta be me.
Fred's discovered the rich, deep finish of new low-gloss Armor All. It protects like original Armor All.
But without the glossy shine.
Original or new low gloss.
Now it's your choice.
Only from Armor All.
Hey, can I try that?
It's time to catch spring fever at Napa, the place more people rely on to keep their vehicles running and to help them save. Get Autolite or Champion resistor spark plugs, your choice just 69 cents. A Napa Lawn and Garden battery is just $19.99 with exchange. Spring is the perfect time for this handy 8-piece cooler combo, just $18.99. So spring into your nearest Napa Auto Parts store today and catch the fever.
All right, we welcome back those of you who watched the Flyers and the Bruins, the Rangers and the Islanders. Bonus coverage now. Out to the Blues and the Stars. Let's join Tom Mees and Darren Pang.
Second shot over the glass into the crowd. And we'd like to welcome the folks who watch the Boston Bruins and the Philadelphia Flyers to our telecast from the arena in St. Louis. Central Division battle on ABC today. And it's tied at 2 with 3:44 to go. I'm Tom Mees along with Darren Pang. Some bonus coverage for you today on ABC. These two teams separated by only 4 points in the Central Division standings. Therefore, Darren, a big game for each.
And they'll face again. This is the first game of a home-and-home. Brett Hull has a goal this afternoon. His 56th goal of the year coming on the power play. Meanwhile, Mike Modano of the Dallas Stars also has a goal. His 49th goal. That, of course, is a career high. Mike Modano had only scored 32 as his tops in his NHL career. But the Dallas Stars are doing a great job of flooding the middle of the ice right in front of their goaltender, trying to take away the slot area of the St. Louis Blues.
Well, Peter Nedved tied this game up at 2. Midway here in the third period, 12:52 of the third, his 5th goal of the season. And that's the reason why overtime awaits if neither team can score the next 3:44. Face-off back to the point to St. Louis and Steve Duchesne. And a rebound attempt, or rather a deflection attempt by Prokhorov. Is the goaltender walk-a-lot. Here's Shanahan. Back to Duchesne at the point. Janney with some clear ice in the corner. Can't get there. Taken away by the Dallas Stars. St. Louis is on the third period. Dallas dominated most of the first 2. Richard Matvichuk behind his own net as the Blues go for a line change. 3:10 and counting here in the third period in St. Louis. Philippe Pouzon with it for St. Louis. Peter Stastny at center. Brett Hull. Stastny try to set Hall up coming down the right wing. Loose puck in front. And here come the Stars to center. Brent Quanto can't control the pass. Ludwig is knocked down. Mike Modano scored his 49th of the season. Long passes onside. Back to Ludwig at the point, but it hops over his stick.
That's a tough play for a defenseman. That pass was off the mark, and after it hit the board, it's tough for Ludwig to keep the puck into the offensive zone.
Here's Grant Ledyard with a blast, and Curtis Joseph falling backwards makes the save. Both Joseph and Darcy Wakaluk have been outstanding in that today. Philippe Bozon at center. He's got Brett Hull trailing, but Bozon snaps off. A shot goes over the glass into the crowd. Let's take a look at our storyline today. For those of you joining us late, Brett Hull scored his 56 goals to cut the deficit from 2-0 to 2-1. Mike Modano scored earlier in the game of the first period, his 49th of the season. Peter Nedved's 5th goal tied it up at 2. That's the reason we're still tied at 2 with 2:17 to go.
And here's the goal right here. The pass right in the high slot, right on the tape. A little bit of a screen underneath the pads of Ludwig, right through Darcy Wakaluk, who's played brilliantly this afternoon. Both goaltenders have been sharp. If this is any indication of what may happen in the first round between St. Louis and Dallas, they've got themselves one heck of a good series on their way.
If the playoffs started today, these two teams would face each other, and Dallas would own home ice advantage. Shots on goal just separated by 3. Pretty even game all down the line. Dallas got the 2 quick goals. Really hasn't threatened continuously since early in the first period. St. Louis getting those goals from Hull and Nedved to tie it up at 2. Play on to the Dallas zone. Stars clear at the center. This is Housley, though, for St. Louis. Taken off his stick by Churla. Now it's the Blues. Igor Korolev into the zone. Korolev sends it in on Darcy Wakaluk. Korolev from the corner. Bad angle shot. Still Housley. Backhands it to the corner. Vitaly Karamnov with it for St. Louis. Puck comes loose to center. Steve Duchesne of St. Louis bats it over the glass into the crowd. We talk about the importance of this game. Look at the Western Conference standings. You see 4 points separate Dallas and St. Louis. And as far as Dallas is concerned, they're only 2 points behind the Toronto Maple Leafs, who will be in action tonight. Calgary is only 1 point ahead of Toronto and 3 ahead of Dallas. So you see a lot can happen down the stretch. The regular season comes to an end on Thursday night. Dallas and St. Louis will meet again Tuesday in Dallas.
This is the fellow that leads the St. Louis Blues. Number 2 in shots on goal with 370 coming into this one. Been tremendous. 47 goals, power forward. 5 game-winning goals as well for Brendan Shanahan. So down the stretch, he's going to be seeing a lot of ice time here.
Face off in the St. Louis zone. This is Rick Zombo behind his own net. Zombo to his defensive teammate, Murphy Barron. Prokhorov trying to be cut off by Matvichuk and is held up at the blue line nicely. Now the Stars number 4. This is Dave Gagne at center. Gagne is onside. Centering pass, though, to Paul Broughton. Shot is well wide. We're nearing the 1-minute mark to go here in the 3rd period. And we're inside 60 seconds, and the game is tied at 2. If they end tied at the end of regulation, it'll be a 5-minute overtime period. Gagne, his pass is intercepted. He was trying to set up Modano.
Modano had his stick caught, and he was ready for the one-timer. Nice defensive play by Rick Zombo.
Zombo turning in a yeoman effort today. Matvichuk at center for Dallas. Gets around Housley. Gets around Bozon. Goes down, but does not draw the penalty. Centering pass and deflecting off a Blues defenseman. Curtis Joseph has to pounce on it with just under 30 seconds left to play in regulation.
Well, you think you might get a power play chance late in the period, but I think Matvichuk going in, Philippe Bozon really gave him some good wood right there, and maybe this is a problem. No calls late in the game because of the situation.
Let's take a look at the Budweiser scoreboard, Darren, from around the NHL. It's a final. The Islanders have defeated the Rangers. That puts the pressure on the Panthers tonight. Boston has defeated Philadelphia. Quebec and Buffalo 1-1 in the second. Hartford leads Tampa Bay in the third at Hartford. Chicago leading the LA Kings late in the third in Chicago. Tonight, a big one in Miami, Florida, hosting New Jersey. Also tonight, Winnipeg, Toronto. And still later tonight, Detroit at Edmonton. And Vancouver will also be at San Jose. That's the other action tonight in the NHL. Face-off with 30 seconds left, 29.8 to be exact. In the St. Louis zone. Kasatonov with it for the Blues. And at center ice, this is Peter Stastny. Stastny to the trailer. Housley couldn't hit him at all. Housley, a long one in front of Wakaluk. In the slot. Brett Hull couldn't control the pass. Cornell to Modano. Modano's shot. His attempt for his 50th goal is wide. Kasatonov with it in his own zone, and we're headed for overtime here at the arena in St. Louis. Why are we going to overtime? Well, partially because of the goaltending of Curtis Joseph, but also because of the goal scored by Peter Nedved of St. Louis. We'll be back for the overtime in a moment.
Dodge Intrepid has a steering system so advanced, it can actually sense how fast you're driving. At highway speeds, it gives you a more precise feel for the road. As you slow down, it adds power and makes turning and parking easier to handle. To get your hands on steering this sophisticated, have a seat. Now lease a well-equipped Intrepid for just $239 a month.
Meet the Parker twins, Bob and Fred.
Hi.
Identical in every way, except when it comes to taking care of their cars. Bob likes the shine of original Armor All protectant, but not Fred.
I gotta be me.
Fred's discovered the rich, deep finish of new low-gloss Armor All. It protects like original Armor All.
But without the glossy shine.
Original or new low gloss.
Now it's your choice.
Only from Armor All.
Hey, can I try that?
It's time to catch spring fever at Napa, the place more people rely on to keep their vehicles running and to help them save. Get Autolite or Champion resistor spark plugs, your choice just 69 cents. A Napa Lawn and Garden battery is just $19.99 with exchange. Spring is the perfect time for this handy 8-piece cooler combo, just $18.99. So spring into your nearest Napa Auto Parts store today and catch the fever.
Welcome back to the arena in St. Louis as we get set for overtime. That's Brett Hull, the captain of the St. Louis Blues. His power play goal, his 56th goal of the season, got the Blues on the board. They trailed 2-0 at the time. Mike Modano scored his 49th goal of the season at the midway point or 8-minute point of the first period. You can see his playing time, just about 1/3 of the game today. Modano, 1 of 2 goals. And there's Curtis Joseph. A day off for Joseph. He's only faced 27 shots, Darren.
Curtis averages somewhere around 35.5 shots a game. Yes, he's down a little bit, only 27 on this one. Darcy Wakaluk has been real sharp throughout the course of this game, looking for his 18th victory. Shots on goal very close. Both teams playing it very tight. You talk about Modano. Well, there's a guy, Peter Nedved, as well. He's the guy that got this game tied up with his 5th goal of the season. Couldn't have come at a better time. He's been so quiet the last couple of games that we've seen him play, and bang right out of the blue in the top of the slot. It's in the net.
He's like a jack in the box. You don't hear from him the whole game, and up he pops and scores a big goal for you. That's why the Blues got him. Signed him and got into the compensation battle with Vancouver, but all has been settled now. Okay, 5-minute sudden death overtime period with Darren Pang. I'm Tom Mees. From the arena in St. Louis, if there is no scoring, it'll go in the books as a tie, and if St. Louis wants a chance to catch Dallas in the standings and get home ice next week, they had better try and win this hockey game today. Heavy hit at center ice. Cornell gives it away to Zombo of St. Louis. Modano cross ice pass. Gagne breaks toward the net. He's in. The backhand Joseph save. Dave Gagne had the game on his stick. And Curtis Joseph keeps it at 2. Matt Tkachuk hits traffic in front, goes wide.
Oh, brilliant save by Joseph. Rick Zombo had fallen, and that would enable Gagne to get in all alone.
Russ Cornell tries to center Gagne, but he's bumped off by Barron. Hatcher, a long cross ice pass to Gagne. Gagne is on him. Well, the Stars have dominated the overtime period so far. Play in the corner to the left of Joseph. Prokhorov will break out for St. Louis. He's got Shanahan ahead of him. Brendan Shanahan has his stick tied up as he let it go. Duchesne is on him. Broughton centers in front. Duchesne blocks the shot. Shanahan at center. Hits the skate of a retreating Craig Ludwig. 3:05 to go, the overtime period here in St. Louis. Hard hit behind the net on Dallas's Grant Ledger draws cheers to the St. Louis faithful. McPhee dumps in behind the net for Dallas. Igor Korolev still bottled up in his zone. Under 3 minutes to play in the overtime. Area stoppage here since they dropped the puck in the extra session.
Tremendous end-to-end action. The intensity really lifted. Best scoring chances coming in the last several minutes of this game and in overtime.
Icing to call on Dallas as Phil Housley touches up with 2:28 to go in the overtime period. And a reminder, coming up here on ABC right after we're done, it's the Hershey's Kisses Pro-Am Figure Skating Championship. Special performance by Brian Boitano along with Scott Davis, Nicole Bobick, other national champions from the United States. That's coming up next on ABC Sports.
Doesn't get any better than this opportunity in overtime. I mean, clear cut, all alone. Great pass by Courtnall, and it's Zombo that falls down in a last-ditch effort, but the left pad of Curtis Joseph, brilliant save, and whoa, what a nice little saucer pass by Courtnall, right on the stick of Gagne to the backhand, can't lift it up, and Curtis Joseph, as he's done so many times before, spreading the legs, spreading them out and cover the lower areas of the net. Terrific save off the stick of that fellow, Dave Gagne.
Now remember, today, it's a 5-minute overtime period. Next week on ABC, if they go overtime in the playoffs, they'll play until somebody scores. The Stanley Cup playoffs, if you've never seen them before on television, be tuned in next week. The show unlike any other. Here's a shot for the point by Brett Hall, and the save is made by Darcy Wachtala. Loose puck in the corner, Peter Stastny. Stastny in front. The shot by Hall, and he fans on it. Couldn't get control. Brett Hall around the net. It's taken away from him by Courtnall. Stastny is free in the corner. Brett Hall. They double team him. Kasatonov has a lot of room. In front, the deflection, and Courtnall controls for Dallas and clears the zone with under 2 minutes to go in the overtime. Well, the Stars had a 2-0 lead. St. Louis has tried and tried and tried and tied this one up. And here's a giveaway at center. Courtnall touches up for Dallas. Trying to hit Gagne in front. The deflection goes wide. Down is Joseph, but Gagne can't find anybody home. Dallas dumps it into the corner. Curtis Joseph out of his net. Play with 1:25 to go. He's very good at handling the puck in his own zone. Here comes Craig Janney at center. Janney to Prokhorov. Becoming Prokhorov the shot. Wachtala with a great save for Dallas. Darcy Wachtala robbing Becoming Prokhorov.
Hand-to-end action. Darcy Wachtala coming up with his best save. Little drop pass. Prokhorov with a quick little snapshot through a bit of a screen. Now this one nearly got him. Nearly got Wachtala through the arm, but he was able to shove that right arm close to his body and stifle it from going on behind him. Prokhorov with a nice little snapshot. He's played a very solid game. I'm sure that Bob Berry is pleased with the effort of Prokhorov. Karamnov as well. Solid game from his Europeans on the St. Louis Blues. But the St. Louis Blues, as you'll see on the face-off right here, what they like to do is have the right defenseman move up along the boards in the forward position, and they're relying on Brendan Shanahan to get the puck back to Brett Hull, who has moved back, looking for the shot off the point.
Huge face-off in the Dallas zone. Blues control it. Brett Hull with a blast. Hits the stick of Dave Gagne.
Hit the Islanders thing.
And it hit the scoreboard, and it broke where it says New York Islanders up on the facade. If we can get a shot, I've never seen that. His sticks and tempers go up. Hull took the shot, hit the stick of I believe it was Dave Gagne, and just ripped right through the New York Islander logo. I don't know if that's bad omen for the Islanders, even though they won today. But they have a big scoreboard here in the facade, and they're going to have to repair it, friend.
There's a bullseye right up there.
There it is, right there. You see that hole there next to the 5? That used to be the New York Islanders logo. That's where Brett Hull's deflected slap shot went.
Face-off won by Shanahan. Shot by Hull, deflected right off the stick, and it looks like Gagne. Here it goes.
And crash, bang, boom.
I knew Brett was accurate. Boy, what a shot he's got.
Right through the Islander hole. You've heard of the 5 hole?
That's the puck right there.
Yeah.
The puck on the left side.
Somebody go up there and get that thing. Be worth something. All right, back to serious business here. 1:12 to go in the overtime, tied at 2. Shanahan wins another big face-off, but I thought it cleared the zone, but the linesman says